Lucifer is the son of Satan and Lilith. And since Satan was fenced off by Muhammad, the last prophet, and was no longer able to enter the human world, since then, Satan and Lilith taught Lucifer everything they knew, and Satan, he made Lucifer responsible for the human world, and Lucifer became responsible for the entry of demons into the human world. Lucifer is a very powerful devil, and his expertise is in lust and sexual issues, and the foundation of homosexuality in the world was done by Lucifer. And all satanic sects are under Lucifer's supervision, and all divisions between ethnicities and nations and differences in the discussion of justice between men and women in different countries. Lucifer has done it through his subordinates, Genie and Ansi, whose purpose was to destroy the unity between humans and create false concerns to divert people from the path of society. Lucifer can enter people's lives through the human ego and each person's mistakes, as well as through tools and equipment, tall mirrors, carpets, blankets, clothes with special evil shapes, tattoos of names, evil shapes, and related magic. He does not his subordinates enter. Lucifer has two wings, one red and one black. In most countries of the world, it is forbidden to name Lucifer on a person. The story and significance of Lucifer. Lucifer, also known as the morning star or the light bringer, is one of the most complex and fascinating figures in both religious mythology and popular culture. His story, rooted in ancient scriptures, has evolved over the centuries, blending elements of rebellion, temptation, and eternal struggle. Let's take a deep dive into the rich history and portrayal of Lucifer, starting from his origins to how he has been interpreted in modern media. Origins in religious texts. The name Lucifer originates from the Latin word meaning light bringer or morning star, and it was used to describe the planet Venus, which is often visible at dawn. In the Christian tradition, the figure of Lucifer is often linked to Satan, but the connection is not as direct as some might think. In the Old Testament, the term Lucifer appears in the book of Isaiah, where the fall of the king of Babylon is compared to the fall of the morning star. The exact verse reads, "How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn." In this context, it refers to human arrogance and the inevitable downfall that follows pride. It was later, in early Christian writings, that Lucifer was interpreted as the name for Satan, linking the figure to the rebellious angel cast out of heaven. This connection between Lucifer and Satan was popularized by early church fathers such as Saint Jerome and Origen, who linked the fall of Lucifer with Satan's rebellion against God. Over time, Lucifer became a symbol of pride, rebellion, and the consequences of defying divine authority. Lucifer as the fallen angel. In Christian theology, Lucifer's most famous role is as the fallen angel, cast out of heaven by God. The story, though not explicitly detailed in the Bible, has become a cornerstone of Christian and Islamic demonology. According to tradition, Lucifer was once the most beautiful and powerful of all angels, second only to God. His name as the light bringer signifies his status as one of the most glorious of the angels. However, Lucifer's downfall came when he allowed pride to consume him. He desired to be as powerful as God himself. Theologians often describe his sin as one of hubris, excessive pride, or self-confidence. This desire to rise above his station led to his rebellion. In the book of Revelation, there is a reference to a great war in heaven, where the archangel Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his fallen angels. Lucifer, as Satan, was cast out of heaven and doomed to roam the earth, leading humanity into temptation and away from God's light. This imagery of a war between angels is what solidifies Lucifer's place as a rebellious figure in Christian thought. Lucifer in Paradise Lost. One of the most influential depictions of Lucifer comes from the 17th century epic poem Paradise Lost, written by John Milton. In this work, Lucifer is portrayed as a tragic anti-hero, someone who has noble qualities but is ultimately brought down by his ambition. Milton's Lucifer is proud, charismatic, and defiant in the face of defeat. His famous line, "Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven," epitomizes his refusal to submit, even after his banishment. Milton's depiction humanized Lucifer, turning him into a character with whom readers could sympathize. He was no longer just a figure of pure evil, but someone whose flaws and struggles mirrored those of humanity. His desire for freedom and rebellion against authority made him a symbol of independence and defiance. This interpretation of Lucifer as a rebel against tyranny resonated with many, particularly in the centuries that followed, as ideas of personal liberty and resistance against oppressive rule gained prominence. Lucifer in modern culture. In contemporary culture, Lucifer's story continues to evolve. He is no longer viewed solely as a villain or a symbol of evil, but often as a misunderstood figure. For example, the popular TV show Lucifer reimagines him as a charming, witty, and misunderstood anti-hero who runs a nightclub in Los Angeles and helps the LAPD solve crimes. This modern portrayal focuses on themes of redemption, free will, and the complexity of human nature. In the series, Lucifer Morningstar is tired of his role as the ruler of hell and seeks a new purpose on earth, further deepening the character's complexity. In literature, film, and music, Lucifer is often depicted as the embodiment of rebellion and the questioning of authority. Musicians from various genres have referenced him, using his story to explore themes of resistance, personal freedom, and the battle between light and darkness within oneself. In literary works, authors often depict Lucifer as a tragic figure who suffers not because of evil, but because of his inability to accept his place in the divine order. Lucifer in other religions. While Christianity offers the most widely known interpretation of Lucifer, other religions also have similar figures. In Islam, the character of Iblis shares several similarities with Lucifer. According to Islamic tradition, Iblis was a jinn who refused to bow to Adam, the first human, because he believed he was superior, having been created from fire, while Adam was made from clay. Iblis's defiance led to his banishment from God's grace, and he became a tempter of humanity, much like the Christian Satan. In Gnosticism, Lucifer is often seen in a more positive light. Some Gnostic texts depict him as a liberator, bringing knowledge and enlightenment to humanity, much like the story of Prometheus in Greek mythology. This interpretation of Lucifer as a bringer of wisdom contrasts sharply with the traditional Christian view of him as a figure of deceit and destruction. Lucifer as a symbol. Beyond religion, Lucifer has become a powerful symbol in philosophy and art. In many ways, he represents the eternal struggle between individualism and submission to authority. For centuries, writers, philosophers, and artists have used Lucifer's story to discuss the nature of freedom, morality, and human existence. In philosophy, thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche have explored the idea of the Luciferian spirit as one of rebellion and the questioning of traditional moral codes. This idea of rejecting imposed rules and searching for one's truth resonates with many people, especially in today's world where the quest for personal identity and freedom is central. Conclusion. Lucifer's story, whether you view him as a villain, a tragic hero, or a symbol of rebellion, continues to captivate the human imagination. He represents the complexities of morality, the dangers of pride, and the struggle for freedom that in a world filled with shades of gray. Lucifer reminds us that good and evil, light and darkness, are not always as clear-cut as we might think. Whether seen as a cautionary tale or a figure of defiance, Lucifer's legacy endures as one of the most compelling narratives in human history.